Hi all, and welcome to week 3. This week you will be introduced to the main project that you're going to do in this course, which will be a literature review. Literature review is a pretty long paper. It's about 10 to 15 pages long, in which you're going to take 5 to 7 sources on a subject of your choice, and you're going to explain what they're talking about and how they add to the conversation about that subject, how they advance the knowledge on that, and how they agree and disagree. A literature review is a kind of project that you will end up doing a lot when you move on to your upper level classes, and that you will probably end up reading a lot also when you're out working in the world of social work and trying to find out about particular topics that you need to know about to help your clients. So here you're actually going to write one. You're going to go through the process of finding all of your sources. You're going to go through the process of breaking those down to the most important bits and summarizing those and showing a thread of how they all connect together, documenting everything, all of that stuff. You're not going to turn this in this week. That would be asking quite a lot of you guys. All you're going to try to do this week is understand your assignment, and you're going to eventually end up writing a proposal. You'll also have a couple chapters to read and another library tool to explore. So let's go through it together and take a look at all of that stuff. We're in the units page. We're going to go to the week 3 unit. This first part here is an introduction to all of the stuff you're going to do in week 3. Make sure to read that. Let's see. Alright, next is your chapters. So for the writer's handbook, you're going to read chapter 4. Excuse me. Thank you. Chapter 4. This is a pretty interesting chapter all on its own, even if you're not looking at it for the purposes of getting better at writing this paper. It has an example of a literature review that looks at the reason for childhood abandonment, and that's apparently by a real person. And it also takes you through all of the steps of writing a literature review, and it includes one of the steps that we're going to do today, which is the proposal part. Most of the instructions that you're going to get on the literature review are actually from this book, because once you get to the instruction part, some of that can be pretty sparse. So, yeah, you're going to have to get a lot of that from here. The other thing that you're going to read in the Easy Writer, you're going to read chapter 12. Chapter 12 covers a lot of different research concepts and how to find the right sources, where to look, and that sort of thing. And so this will help you with boiling down the sources that you're going to use and making sure that they are credible and useful. And it won't just help you here, it'll help you in other kinds of classes as well, any sort of research class. Alright, so keep these questions down here in mind whenever you're looking at that. Let's go to the next thing. So this next part is another library tool that you're going to explore. And this is a citation tool and a just research-related tool that's actually created by the APA itself. If we click on this link here, it opens this up. Well, that's not good. Let's see if I can fix this, and then you can fix this if it happens to you. No, that's not right. Hold on a second. Technical difficulties. Okay, I think I know what's wrong. sign out. It's because I have my other account. And I have to sign in from OLLU. No, not that one. Alright, now we're in business. You're going to have to actually set up a profile when you get to that point. For me, I already created one so that I could look through this and tell you guys what to do. Save. Sure. Alright, so so you're just supposed to explore as much of this as you can. A lot of the things you're going to look at, if you go over here to the Learn tab, it has a lot of different samples, and here you can look at samples of even this kind of paper if you want to. So if we click that, we click Literature Review, and there's 2 samples of actual literature reviews here that you can look at. Also, if you go over to this right part, let's see. You can actually write your papers here if you want to. I'm not going to do all that. And you can create reference lists here. So, yeah, I'm going to have to sign in with this again, aren't I? Yeah, alright. Save this time. I hope this doesn't do all this with you guys. Yeah, so you can come down into this part and you can actually create a reference list from here the same way you would with Citation Machine or any of those other ones. And these are actually made by APA, so they're going to be a lot more well put together than the ones that come from other places. You can also look at more examples of journal articles and stuff like that too. But there's ways of actually searching your actual article. And if somebody cited it in here before, it'll already be in there and you can add it to the list. So explore those tools and look through them and see what could be useful for you in the future. This would be a pretty useful place to actually make a reference page. Alright, so let's go back here. Keep all of these questions down here at the bottom in mind while you're going through that. The next part here, this is a link to the literature review assignment page. And as it says here, you're not turning this in this week. You're not turning anything into this file this week. This is just for you to look at so that you can see what's going to come up. This isn't due until week 11. So week 11 is when we're going to turn this in. But you're going to be working on this every week until then. You're going to be finding your sources. You're going to be writing about what they say and finishing up your paper so that you don't have to turn it all in the last minute. So if we click on that link, it takes us to the actual review, the actual assignment page here. So read through all of this. Make sure you know what you're expected to do. Again, don't turn anything in here. All you're doing is looking over the parameters of the assignment so that you know what you're expected to do ahead of time, and you can get started on it. Alright, ignore all of this. Ignore all of these things on the side here as well. You're just looking at the bottom one. Cancel. Let's go back. Now we're on the assignments page. Okay, so going back to course units and this week. And so the final thing is going to be the discussion board. And so I have 4 discussion boards for you this week. The first one is chapter questions for Chapter 4 of the Writer's Handbook. So by Monday, you need to answer these 4 questions at the top here. Why is the literature review important for social work? What is the process of creating a literature review? How does one review a journal article? What question or comment do you have regarding the sample figure 4.4? By that, what we're talking about here is, let's see, this part here is one giant sample of a literature review, and it's the best model that you're going to get for this. The other model you can look at is those 2 on APA, on the academic tool that we just looked at. So that's what figure 4.4 is. And then by Friday, make sure to post 1 properly formatted APA-style paraphrase with parenthetical citation, and 1 properly formatted APA-style short quotation with parenthetical citation. So make sure to do both of those. Next. Where's next? No, that's not the one we want to do next. Okay, next one is Chapter 12. So you're going to read this, you're going to read Chapter 12 of Easy Writer, and then you're going to answer all of these questions. You have again, just like the last one, you have 4 regular questions and then 2 follow-up ones. What's the difference between primary and secondary sources? Easy question. You should be able to figure that out from the book. What are some examples of primary and secondary sources? How do scholars and popular sources differ? You probably already know that one. What are some examples of scholarly and popular sources? And then by Friday, make sure to do these bottom ones here. What library resources are available to you within the research library? How does a researcher determine if her or his sources are accurate, credible, and trustworthy? And again, all those answers are in here. Next one you will do is this part here. This is a literature review Q&A. So you're going to be a little confused by this, and that's fine. This is where you're going to ask questions about that. If you have anything that you're not sure about, if you just aren't, if, maybe I missed something, or maybe Dr. Sanborn missed something and didn't make it very clear. So if there's something that you're not sure about this assignment, make sure to add it in here by Monday at 11:59. And we will go through all of these posts together and try to clear up any confusion or anything like that. Make sure to post it there if you have any kinds of question at all, because it might not just be you wondering it, it might be the entire class. Make sure to also read over those, because maybe you missed something as well that is going to be really, really important later, and someone else may ask about that. Okay, so the last one. This part is your literature review proposal. Basically what this is going to be is you're going to pitch an idea for your literature review, what you want it to be about. It needs to all be about one topic, and be a review of all the literature on that, like the main sources that are published within the last 3 years. You can pick a topic that's important to you, and that's probably going to help you write this a lot. If you pick something that's boring, you're going to have a harder time. You want to pick something important to you, but also important to the world. The example from the book is a lady writing about how to treat depression in the elderly. So that's important to her because of her own personal experience, but it's also important to the world to make sure that's a problem that's cleared up. Okay, so yeah, try to pick something that is clear, focused, and complex. That means it needs to be a something that is pretty straightforward, and it needs to be focused enough that it's not really broad. Like, if she just said, how do you treat depression? Or how do you help the elderly? Those would be too broad. But she picked depression in the elderly, and that's what made it better. Pick something complex enough, too, that it's really worth talking about. So she's mostly talking about CBT, which is physical therapy as a way of treating depression and Alzheimer's. And so that's more focused, that's complex and focused enough that it's a specific topic. It's not just talking about, old age in general or something like that. That would be really hard to write about, and you would have way too many articles to go through. That's the way to tell, is if you search for articles and there's like several thousand of them, then you might need to pick a more narrow topic. Once you pick something out, answer these questions down here. What is your topic or problem? What is your working thesis statement? So come up with a thesis statement. This is true because of this. And that's definitely probably going to change as you do your research. But right now, what you think is probably the case, that should be your thesis statement. For question 2, why did you pick this topic? Why is it important for you? Why is it important for society and the world? So just make sure that you can answer those questions and that you have good answers for them. Once you've completed this, complete this by Monday at midnight, and then over the course of the week, go and look at some of your peers and give feedback to them. Tell them if you think their topic is really important. Tell them if you think it needs to be more narrow, whatever. I'll be in there giving you guys feedback as well, because I want to make sure before you spend a lot of time writing these that you have a good topic to start off with. If we mess up this part, then it's going to mess up the whole paper. Alright guys, good luck. I will see you all in the discussions.